Okay, so what that video was talking about was a just transition. That means moving us from our current unjust economy into a new justice-focused economy. So it's really highlighting that the problem with our current society isn't just that it produces a lot of carbon emissions. And so the fix can't be to just reduce emissions. Um, a world that is the same as this one, but where ExxonMobil or BP owns millions of wind turbines, might solve the climate issue, but the next existential environmental disaster, whether that's biodiversity loss or deforestation or overfishing or topsoil erosion, is just around the corner. And the frankly apocalyptic human rights issues that we face in the US and around the world wouldn't be addressed either. So for me, at least, climate change has always been about justice. It's unjust that our children's children won't have a livable planet, or that we ourselves are going to have a shit future. The point of stopping the climate crisis, for me, is to reduce the suffering and injustice in the world. So by solving the carbon emissions problem without touching the giant engine of injustice causing it, just doesn't cut it for me. Okay, so this diagram, this graphic. So our current system digs, burns, and dumps resources. It combines that with exploitation, and it produces wealth and power for a tiny few. It sucks. We should change it. What we need to move towards is a system that gets its resources from regeneration. That means zero waste, renewable energy, building soil rather than depleting it, understanding and acting with the natural cycles of water, soil, air. And then we combine that with the work of cooperation. So that's deep democracy, voluntary cooperation, rather than coercion and exploitation. And that means that people are in control of the decisions that affect their daily lives. So unlike our current system, where we get a vote every few years, if we're lucky, and otherwise have to sort of clamor and join activist organizations and lock ourselves to heavy machinery just to get decision makers to pay attention to us. Like in an ideal world, we don't have to do that. And the end goal of the regenerative economy is ecological and social well-being for all, instead of enclosure of wealth and power. And I mean, it's shown that wealth and power doesn't even bring happiness and fulfillment to those who have it. So let's have an economy that is directed towards meeting everyone's needs. Just a quick note on another part of the just transition that's talked about a lot is that it shouldn't leave anyone behind. So we've talked about frontline communities being folks in the global south, BIPOC communities, marginalized people. Well, when we move to a new economy, we don't want to create more marginalized folks. So that means that when we shut down oil rigs or coal mines or clear-cut logging here in Oregon, we don't let the people on the ground get left behind. We don't want to make all the West Virginian coal miners unemployed. We want justice for them too. So part of the just transition is helping folks in extractive industries get retrained and ready to fit into the new regenerative economy. And it's worth noting that that graphic, this proposal that was from Movement Generation, isn't the only proposal for a new economy. Because of the fact that the future should be based on deep democracy, and not everyone has had the chance to weigh in yet, it's impossible to predict exactly what it's going to look like. But there's a bunch of great best guesses by great organizations. Here you've got The Red Deal, which is a book about indigenous vision and action to save our Earth. You've got The Beloved Community, which was Martin Luther King's vision for a society based on his 6 principles of nonviolence. You've got the Movement for Black Lives that have released their policy platforms. You have this Red, Black, and Green New Deal, which pairs climate action with land back and reparations. And then you've got the LEAP Manifesto, which is, I think Naomi Klein has been involved with. And I highly recommend checking out all those resources, and also checking out this zine that goes into detail about the Movement Generation framework that the video was based on. They'll all be linked in the notes below.